Okay, so while this is updating, what I thought we could do is look at some other examples from previous students and look at their back cover ad. So this is an assignment all on its own. You are making a full page ad, and there are a lot of graphic design things to consider in advertising. It's probably one of the most important graphic design skills that you can acquire because advertising encompasses so many things that we've talked about in user experience design, in graphic design, in communication, which is why it's a really good project to have you all do ads as part of your magazine. Okay, so this first one that we're looking at, this is part of the Dark Souls, or it was called Inside Souls magazine, and we're looking at the back cover ad now. So when we
I don't
think
mean
about,
to interrupt,
oh, am
but
I
we're
not?
not able to see.
Okay, let's fix that. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this is part of the Dark Souls magazine called Inside Souls that I shared with you before. Um, when we think about advertising, the viewers need to know the three W's. What is it? What's in it for me? And where can I get it? So, does this ad adequately explain the what is it?
Yes.
Okay. Is anyone confused about what this is?
It took me a minute, but it's for a game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think if someone is a subscriber to a gaming magazine, they would recognize this. They're going to recognize IGN and Games Radar and PC Games as, like, yeah, this is video game content related. And this game, Elden Ring, they dumped a bucket of money into marketing when the game came out. So if you were a gamer, you've probably at least heard of Elden Ring. And this was back about 4 or 5 years ago, so it may have fallen off people's radar. But I think a lot of people have heard of it. I think, you know, today the game would be like Baldur's Gate or Helldivers is the new one now. But um, I think that the image is interesting because it doesn't explain right away at a glance that this is a video game. It's kind of mysterious, it's intriguing. So I think the pros and cons to this ad is if you know, you know. Like it's reaching its target audience. They're going to recognize the logo, the name, etc. If you aren't familiar, they might be losing a little bit of market share to people that maybe they play video games but they haven't heard of this one and they might not recognize it right away. Um, so, depending on your target audience, you might have to massage your message a little bit. So that's the what is it? What's in it for me? Does this adequately explain the what's in it for me part of it? No one seems to have a strong opinion either way. Lane, what do you think?
Oh, sorry, my dog distracted me. Can you ask again?
Yeah, so the three W's, the what is it, we've determined that it's a video game. The next question that viewers have is what's in it for me? If you were to glance at this ad, would you understand what's in it for you? Like, why should you buy the product?
The big thing would be entertainment
Okay. And
because
how do you know that it's entertainment?
Well, you can tell from this image here that it is a video game, and video games are pretty much majority of the time used to pass time and fill in free time, which is usually used for entertainment. And you can tell by the supposed ratings on the screen that it's rated very highly, so your enjoyment is going to be good.
Yeah, I think you make excellent points, especially about the ratings. That this game got 10 out of 10, 5 stars on some of the most trusted reviewing platforms. So it is sort of guaranteeing that promise of entertainment. So I do think it does a good job of explaining the what's in it for me. And then the last question that viewers of ads usually have is, where can I get it? And I think it pretty adequately shows. Again, it's if you know, you know. You know that you can get this on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. So I think it does a good job of covering all three of those things. So yeah, I would say overall this is a pretty successful ad. It's attractive, it's eye catching, it explains the three W's very well. Let's look at the next one. So this was the Futuristic Space Tourism magazine. And this is the back page. So, at a glance, do you all know what this is? What is this product?
It seems to be an ad for the possibility of near futures like space travel and space vacation.
Yeah, I think maybe it takes us a little longer to get there. We have to sort of infer from the logo. This part's a little hard to read. I think the font maybe could have been bolder. But if we study it, we can infer the what is it. It is a vacation service, and that automatically implies the what's in it for me. Um, we want a vacation, right? We want to travel and everything. And then the where can I get it? Um, it's a little vague, but it's the true north space lines. Can anybody think of a way to improve this ad and make it a little more stronger or a little more successful?
Yeah, I feel like maybe a change of text would help a little bit,
Okay,
or
so
maybe the color.
making it a little easier to read.
Yeah,
Okay. Any other suggestions? I think that there maybe could be an offer or a call to action. Um, the promise of a vacation seems really vague. I don't really know what it's going to cost. I don't know where I could go. I don't know how long of a vacation I need to plan for. So I think this ad could have been improved with a little bit stronger offer. So I like this. Your off world vacation is closer than you think, and it shows these two, like this moon and this planet, like close together, right? They're making the point that it's closer than you think. And I think that's really clever. Um, I think that maybe taking up some of the negative space to say, 3 day cruises starting at 5,000 units. Um, just a little bit more of an offer would draw people in, and a call to action, book before July to get our best rates. So having a strong offer and a call to action makes your ad more successful. And then let's look at this one. This is a sort of a beauty fashion magazine. This was called Delight magazine, and it's obviously a lot of beauty products. And so this last ad is for Versace. Um, is anybody familiar with the brand Versace?
Is it a
Oh,
perfume brand?
they're actually more than just a perfume. Yes, this particular product is for their perfume. Versace is a very high end haute couture fashion label. They are on the Paris runway every spring with a new designer line. So they're incredibly elite um, products and fashion for the elite people. I don't think I've ever owned anything Versace in my life. Um, they're kind of along the lines of like Gucci and some of those high end brands. So do we can we infer what the product is from this ad? I think Casey nailed it when she said, "Is it a perfume?" Because yes, there's the picture of the product right there. It's a perfume. Um, the the what's in it for me is a little more subtle because this is such a elite kind of high end product. If you've ever been in a doctor's office and they have like Vogue magazine or some of the magazines that appeal to that more high end luxury brand, um, they don't often spell it out. They kind of assume that if you're in the know, if you're in the 1%, like you kind of already know these brands and they don't have to spell it out to you. Um, what I find interesting about this ad is the tagline, make an impression, and the mirror is the impression. So it's kind of a playful slogan, um, showing like the reflection or the impression. In terms of appeal, does this ad appeal to the target audience?
I think so. If they really like Versace.
Emma, did you have any thoughts?
No, Casey kind of said exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, I think it does have broad appeal to their target audience. So, yeah, I think this is a pretty successful ad. It looks very real to the types of ads that I've seen when I'm, in the doctor's office and I'm looking at Vogue magazine or whatever. I think this this would pass as like an actual ad. So I think the student did a good job of studying the current magazine issues that are out there and then mocking up one that looks very realistic. So I think they did a nice job with that. Let's go back to the covers for just a moment since we have these up. Um, I think this one has a nice strong masthead, good colors. We've got the issue number here. We've got the article that jumps out at you, the primary article here. We've got a secondary article here. The only sort of technical issue I think might be the barcode. I I have read or been told that barcodes have to all be standardized. So that's maybe the only slight like technical thing that might need to be changed. On this one, the space tourism, there's a strong masthead here. I think that the cover image, while it's eye catching, is competing a bit much with the magazine articles. So, that's kind of not as successful, maybe, in terms of readability. But overall, I think it's a really strong effort. And then the Inside Souls magazine, I think they did a nice job of a really strong masthead, a really eye catching cover design, and we've got the articles here, the issue number, and the barcode. So I think this one was really successful. Okay, let's see if my InDesign ever updated. while that's loading, does anyone have any questions or comments so far?
Nope, I'm all good.
Okay. Okay, hopefully this will open any minute now, because I have Oliver's zipped file with all of we have the PDF, we have the InDesign file, we have the IDML file, which is a backup version when there's a version conflict. Sometimes you can get that one to open. It packaged the links. So here's the images that were linked, and it will package your fonts for you as well. So let's see if we're in luck now. Oh, stop it. It's trying to open it in the old version. Let's see if I can get it to open here. Okay, InDesign is fighting with itself now. We don't want that one. We want this one. Give me just a sec here to open. Huh. It's still saying it's a newer version. Let's see if I can get it to open. If not, I may need to just move on, Oliver. Sorry.
Bah.
I just updated Creative Cloud. All right. Well, let's move back to the assignment for this week. So your lab for week 11 is we're going to make the back page ad. We're going to do our first draft of it. So thinking about all the things that we've talked about today, what are some of the things that are important for a full page ad?
It has a target audience.
Good.
What's in it for me?
Yeah. You have to appeal to your target audience and tell them why they should buy your product. Anything else? So as we say here, it should feature the product logo. So you may have to come up with a logo for your product. Keep in mind this ad is not the cover. It is not the magazine. It is a product that has bought advertising space in your magazine. So, for instance, like Casey's doing the DC History of magazine with the Robin feature. The back page ad could be something completely different, you know? Maybe it's a Funko Pop. Maybe it's a video game. Maybe it's a board game. So, Casey, what are some of the products that sort of cross over people that would buy this magazine, what types of products would they be interested in buying?
Figurines or Funko Pops. Some of them, there's like DC games out there. I know there's one where it has um three of the Robins in the game, which is Gotham Knights. So I think that would be a good ad.
Okay. So you said there's a game called Gotham Knights?
Yeah.
And is it a board game or it's a video game?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, we can see. Let's see if I can mock something up real quickly. I think this is a good format. If we do an overly wide format, then we have to fill the rest of the page with something else. So I'd rather go for more of a square or a, more of a vertical format. Let's see if we can get any. Unfortunately, this image is very low res. So what I'm going to do is say this is for position only. We're going to get the real artwork later. Now, for you all, I think it's important to get good, high quality artwork for this assignment. But for the purposes of my demonstration, I'm just going to put something in FPO. So let's switch this to inches. And considering this is a full bleed, I probably should have spec'd a bleed, but let's just do this for now. So Control Shift drag to scale, and that's going to look terrible when it prints, obviously, but this is what we have to work with for now. So right away I'm noticing there's an issue where if I center it, it looks a little off center. So again, issue with the image. This is the center of the page. It's about 1/4 of an inch off. So getting really good artwork is going to be important for you all. So let's do this. Sorry, let me turn that off. Let's make our image a little bit smaller and center it visually. I'm going to center it there. All right. And okay, so now it's all centered a little bit better. And let's put in a color in the background. Let's get my eyedropper tool and let's pick up that dark purple. Okay. So what do we want to say about the game? Let's go back and read the article. It's an action role-playing game. So it's third-person perspective. Is it an MMO or is it just a single player?
It could be multiplayer.
Okay. Okay. And I guess what I want to know is what platforms is it available on?
If I remember, it's PlayStation 5 and the newest Xbox.
Okay. Let's go to here.
Oh, and of course PC.
Yeah, okay. So I would probably try to find those logos. Yeah, like right here. I'm just gonna do a little snip for now. And do they have a tagline for the game? Like, they've got join the Knights. Okay, so this looks like a tagline that they're using. So let's go ahead and put that in. And we want a nice bold font. Go to So let's go with, that's interesting. We'll go with that. And let's make it white. Let's see. We could probably scoot this up into here and then move this down like that. Another thing that I've done a lot of is putting an effect on something to make it feather. So let's try a gradient feather. And what it's going to do is sort of feather it out. Give me a preview. There we go. And I want it to go that way. And I'm going to move it.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so what I've done is I gave it a gradient feather so that it kind of blends into the background at the top. Okay. So that is a real quick mock-up of the back page ad. Any questions? So let's talk for a little bit about your products. Let's go back to the assignment. And I'm just going to go through and ask each of you, what are you thinking of as a product that would be appealing to your target audience for your magazine? Oliver, you're doing the Helldivers magazine. What other kinds of products do you think your audience might be interested in?
Uh, Probably just looking for good games
How about,
or like news on game releases.
as far as product sales though, how about peripherals? Like, do gamers need a new keyboard? Do they need controllers? Do they need a monitor? Let's look at Helldivers to platform statistics. Steam charts. We've got current player count and stats. What I want to see is what platforms they're playing on. Does anybody know? Let's see. So it's published by PlayStation, but is it available on other? There's a Steam link.
Yeah. It is available on other platforms.
Okay. Well, I'm not finding the list of stats, but I'm gonna guess that it's a PlayStation. Um, like primarily, it was maybe released on PlayStation first. So let's look at PlayStation controllers. So we've got the DualSense wireless. There's a purple one. Looks like Razer has an arcade controller. So if we look at all these various types of controllers, there's some probably aftermarket controllers. I think like a controller would be good. Um, oh look, there's different accessories like replacement knobs. This looks fun. It's a RGB. I've got this stupid virus on my browser. Um, it's an RGB controller that has a keypad. So think about other fun things that your magazine readers might want to purchase. Okay. Um, Emma, remind me again, what is your magazine about?
It's going to be about world building.
Okay. So, what do we know about your target audience?
They'd probably be writers and artists wanting to come up with world design.
Oh,
So I actually have an idea for an ad already.
okay.
So there's this website called Vulgarlang, and it basically helps you create your very own made-up language.
Oh,
And I think to buy it, so there's the free option, which just only lets you generate a new language. But if you really want to be able to go in and customize everything, you would need to buy it, and I think it's a one-time buy, so lifetime purchase,
how do you
and
spell
it's
that? Is it VOLGER?
VULGARLANG.
Okay.
And I think it costs like 19.99 if you want like the pro version, which is what I have.
Okay. So, I think what would be fun is if you got their logo, and then what if you did like a parchment paper background with some cool script on it? Like, I'm just gonna look up like Elvish script. You know, something like that. Um,
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
and maybe like a quill and ink, so you could, you know, kind of go into Photoshop and make a collage or something, because their website is boring as heck, right?
Oh yeah.
So they're not really selling it on the website. You're gonna have to use your artistic imagination to make a really appealing, visually eye-catching ad. But I think if you use some design elements, what if you had a wizard, a wizard writing with a quill? Yeah, so what if you had something like that? Um,
Ooh.
so you're going to have to create or find a really appealing, eye-catching image, because their website is not selling it. They've hired
Oh
you as the graphic designer to sell this product, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And so the immediate appeal is you can get a free trial. Um, so I would emphasize that, like, go to vulgarlang.com and create your new language for free. You know, that's the call to action. That's the appeal of it.
Yep.
Okay. Lane, what is your magazine about?
I pretty much decided on I was gonna do a magazine on the evolution of PlayStation as a console over the years.
Great. Okay. So, what are you thinking of for a back page ad?
Um, I was thinking like the newest PS5 Pro was just leaked as a design and all that, so I think I thought about maybe doing one for the latest as like the last almost.
Okay. So, we've got some really cool images you can work with. Um, let's go to. They're just showing the details. They got some specs. So you could go in here and look at, there's a 10% increase in graphics abilities. Um, there's some images here you could use. I like that new design. That's really modern. Um, so they've got accelerated graphics, expanded storage space. So yeah, I would make a list of all the features and maybe bullet point it. And when does it actually release? Well, the games aren't coming out until 2025. Yeah, you can mock something up with that. I think it would be cool, Lane, if you cut this out of the background and then found a really dynamic background to put this on to make it really appealing.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Okay. And anyone else that we haven't covered for your magazine ad, your back page ad? Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is your logo. Most of you already have a product, a pre existing product, and you probably already can grab their logo. But let's say that you have to come up with a logo. That can be very time consuming, and for the purposes of this ad, um, logo design is an art form all of itself. So there are a couple of free logo generators that I have used in a pinch when I'm just doing mock-ups. And I think this is the one that I used. So let's just say a business name is um, Game Controller Experts. Let's say your source for elite game controllers. And let's say your company is, well, you're going to be the business owner and your industry is probably technology. Let's see if they have. Do they have one for gaming? Yeah. Let's just say gaming. Game console buttons, lights, technology. These are terrible. Um, but yeah, you can find some other generators. I really expected this to be better. Let's try a different logo generator. I think I've used this one before too. So, elite game controllers. So it's under video games. And then they ask you to pick some that you like. I want something really high-tech looking. None of these are great. Let's go with this one, this one, this one. I like purple and green. How's that? Let's go with that and so yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but if you're in a pinch and you just want something right away, they'll want your info, but you could look these over and maybe even use one as a jumping off point to make your own logo. So if you need to whip up a logo in a pinch and you don't have time to make one for your ad, something like this might be an option for you. Okay. So this is due on the 30th. So you actually have a week and a half to do this ad. And I think what we'll do is we'll keep moving forward with other aspects of the magazine. So I'm giving you a little bit of extended time on this, but there might be another assignment coming up next week as well. But in the meantime, what I would do if I were you is to start doing the layout template for the magazine itself. So you want to think about, let's add some pages here. Let's do 4 pages before that page. So think about, how many columns do you want to have? Let's go to the parent page. Let's say this is a 3-column layout. You'll want to think about your page numbers. So remember how you're creating your footers with your page numbers, things like that. So I would start getting your parent page elements all worked out. Start putting in your ads. So if you go back to the assignment for the magazine overall, let's look at how many ads we need. We've got 2 quarter-page ads, 2 half-page ads, and a full page on the back. So start thinking about, where is your half-page ad going to go? Where will your quarter-page ads go? Things like that. So I would start laying in things for position only for now and go from there. This project, it will become cumbersome if you aren't working on it weekly. So I would say whenever you have spare time or you get inspiration, just add a little bit to it as you go. You'll obviously want to set up your style sheets. So don't forget to start setting up your paragraph styles. But all of that really can be inspired by your cover. So if you think about the font that you chose for your masthead, that might be a header font that you use throughout. You can always refer back to the lectures that we had on font pairings, how to do complementary fonts. You can go back to week, was it 8, I think, and look through some of those articles for inspiration. There's plenty of links in the last few lectures, so maybe go back through there and review for inspiration. And yeah, just keep plugging away on this. Any questions?
Nope, I'm all good.
Okay. Well, if not, I think what I'll do is allow Wednesday to just be an open lab and give you time to work on your magazines. Feel free to post things to the whips, and feel free to hit me up if you have any questions or just want feedback on anything. But other than that, I will just look forward to meeting with you all again next Monday. Does that sound good?
Yep, that
Sounds
sounds
good to
good.
me.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Well, everyone, have a good afternoon, and I'll talk to you next week.
Have a good afternoon.
Thanks.
Bye.